It's the start of a new season. You might wonder when the old season actually ended, given that India were in West Indies till recently. But it's the start of the home season. It starts to feel that way. And everyone's thoughts are focused on whether this is going to begin the build-up to the World T20, given India's start with the T20s against South Africa. Don't worry, there's a lot of T20 internationals coming your way. I mean, I just did a little back of the envelope numbers, and actually with T20 back of the stamp maybe, if there are stamps around. And there's about 25, 30 T20 internationals. You add another 12, 13, 14 IPL games for the big players. There's about 40, 45 decent high-pressure games before the World T20. So it's not as much a countdown to the World T20 as it is discovering people in the right roles. Because I get the feeling at the moment that T20 is probably, for India as an international side, probably the weakest format. And I think it begins with the top two. Who are India's top two? I think Rohit Sharma picks himself, but do you go Shikhar Dhawan, do you go KL Rahul? Here are two people whose trajectory at the moment is a little downward. 2018 was a lovely year for Shikhar Dhawan. Dhawan was average 15 and his strike rate less than 100. KL Rahul at one point averaging 40, strike rate 150. He's down to 29 in his last 8 or 9 games. Strike rate about 125, 130. They're still much better numbers than Shikhar Dhawan. So who do you pick amongst the two? All I would say is whoever India choose to go with, if they think they want a left-hander, because otherwise you get a top 4 that's all right-handers. Whoever they pick, they must give him 3 games and not say, if you don't play well this game, you're out tomorrow. My own perception is that India's 2 best white ball openers, certainly the shortest format in T20, are KL Rahul and Rohit Sharma. But if you want to go with Shikhar Dhawan, given that he had a fantastic season for Delhi Capitals, made more than 500 runs for them, then you've got to give him all 3 games. India's 2 lead batsmen, Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, are really the prime format in the white ball game is 50 overs. But you don't have to worry about them. They'll find their way around. And that brings us to number 4, the most hotly debated issue in Indian cricket. Who's number 4? India have tried to use Rishabh Pant at number 4. I just think with Pant, the calmer he is, the cleaner he is in his mind, the better off it is for him. And if he's going to be just the lead striker of the ball, then maybe he's better off at number 5, leading the charge in the last few overs. And I like to see Shreyas Iyer at number 4. I know it's a shootout between Shreyas Iyer and Manish Pandey. India played Pandey in the T20, Shreyas in the ODIs in the West Indies. But I like the idea of Shreyas Iyer at number 4, given he can play in 2 gears. And then the area that India have been weak in for a while, which is the power hitting towards the end. And that is why I like to see Rishabh Pant at 5. Hardik Pandya comes back, that's important. I hope he stays injury-free for the next 12 months. And then Krunal Pandya at 5, 6, 7. I think India pretty much sorted there. If you're going to play Jadeja, then there's another free striker at number 8. In course of time, India will go back to Bhuvaneshwar and Bumrah. But for India versus South Africa, once you've got batting all the way down to 8 on, it doesn't matter which 2 you pick, whether it's Deepak Chahar and Navdeep Saini or you want the left-hander in Khalil Ahmed, it doesn't really matter. Now, by the time the World T20 comes round, India will want Jasprit Bumrah and Bhuvaneshwar Kumar to be their lead bowlers. But here's an opportunity in their absence for either Deepak Chahar or Khalil Ahmed or Navdeep Saini was so impressive in the West Indies to try and force their way in, or maybe even, if the conditions so determine one day, to play all 3. I know there's Hardik Pandya. When he plays for Mumbai Indians, he plays largely as one of 4 seamers, but he could play as one of 3. But that's something I think they'll take a decision with in the morning. But this is an opportunity for Saini to build on what he did in the West Indies, for Khalil Ahmed to say, you know, you don't have a left-hander, I'm the only one around, so pick me because I'll try and start swinging the ball back in. And Deepak Chahar has done so well for Chennai Super Kings and indeed for India. I remember that game he bowled, what, just 3 overs? He picked up 3 or 4 wickets. So there's opportunity for everybody there. And I hope one of them is saying, you know what, when Bhuvaneshwar comes back, he'll have to do better than us. But I think India's selectors, through the use of all these all-rounders in between, at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, are starting to pick T20 specific sides. And I won't be surprised if this is the pattern that goes through all the way till the World T20. So I think India have got the makings of a really good side. I've no doubt at all that India start favourites against South Africa were vastly inexperienced. But as I said, even more than the result, it is to see whether India pick the right people in the right roles that I'll be looking forward to in these 3 T20s against South Africa.